Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video. This is not a clickbait, but there is one massive problem in Wuthering Waves right now, and it is a problem that every single player would face, especially when they start to begin their endgame grind, which is for your echoes, right? And without further ado, let's get into today's content. What exactly is this big problem in Wuthering Waves? You guys won't really feel this now because majority of the players will not have an incentive to raise their echoes yet, because what you should be focusing on in this current moment is going to be raising up your units levels, you raising up your weapon levels, as well as raising up your trace levels, right? So these are the priorities, the first three priorities that a player should be doing, especially in the early to mid game. Only towards the end game, like I've mentioned in my previous end game video, then you will start to explore leveling echoes. And typically, players will start to feel this problem when you are at union level 30 plus data bank level 15, which is the level where you start to unlock your 5-star echoes at a 30% drop rate / 70% drop rate. Majority of players, even for casuals, I believe you can reach level 15 after roughly 1 week of progressing through the story, or just simply collecting the echoes that you haven't explored. Most players should be able to reach this within 1 week. So here is the problem. It simply costs way too much to raise an echo, especially to level 25. There is simply way too much relic experience required, and there's no other way for us to get this relic experience unless you do the tested fields. And I'll show you guys how ridiculous this amount is. But before we talk about the echo experience problem, I want to first discuss the distribution of what your character will use. So distribution wise, if you guys are still not familiar with the ecosystem, in the Wuthering Waves, it is split into 1 cost, 3 cost, and 4 cost echoes. This regarding substats. If we only talk about main stats, 4 cost and 1 cost, they are generally a lot easier to obtain with regards to the right set and the right main stat compared to 3 cost echoes. Why? Because if you guys not have seen my previous video on the infinite echoes glitch, you can get a pretty much an infinite amount of 4 cost echoes because the boss just refreshes very quickly and you get enhanced drop rates from like pretty much every single boss with the cover, right? So you can farm this infinitely to eventually just get the right set with the right mains that you want. For some of the 4 costs, there's 2 different distributions. So for example, for the turtle, you can either get the moonlit set or the healing set. But for some bosses like the dreamless, you can only get the havoc set. So it is quite easy to get the right main set and the right subset. So for the 4 costs, this is not that big of a deal. For the 1 cost, it is a little bit more difficult because you can only get this from clearing out the overworld or the tested fields. I'll get the tested fields later, but you can only get your 1 cost from clearing the overworld, and they refresh every single day. So if you've cleared the overworld and there's nothing left for you to kill, then you have to go to your friend's world, right? So it is more restrictive when compared to getting the 4 cost with the right main stat and the right set. For your 1 costs, the way you find out what do you farm for the right 1 cost, you have to go to here, to the sets, right? So for example, if you are looking for a freezing frost 1 cost, these are the enemies that drops the freezing frost set, right? So it can be the fish, all right? It can be the little rocks, or it can be like the little havoc soldiers, right? So these are some of the common class enemies that will drop the freezing set. But at the same time, they also drop other sets. So an example is like, you can see over here, the fusion prism. It drops the freezing set, but it also drops the molten set, right? So your 1 cost, their set distribution is a lot larger compared to, say, your 4 costs, right? So there's going to be RNG involved for both your sets and your main stats. For 1 cost, luckily for us, there's only 3 main stats, right? HP, attack, defense. Pretty much every single DPS will 1 attack, and your supports and sustains, they can either run HP, defense, or attack. It doesn't really matter that much, right? So for your 1 cost, it is still not that bad, because eventually you're able to farm them, right? If you're farming with your overworld, you're just gonna get a huge variety of this, where to a point where you will be able to get the right main stat with the right set eventually. Now, the problem comes when you want to get the 3 cost. The 3 cost in this game, there is a very big distribution when it comes to their main stats. So if we take a look at the 3 cost distribution, let me pull up Private real quick. So you can see 1 cost, it is quite fixed, right? It is quite fixed. Wait, this main stat, right? Yeah, it is quite fixed. Everybody's gonna have the same flat stat, then it's gonna be HP, attack, or defense. For your Overlord, like I said, you can just farm this infinitely, so there's no bottleneck. 3 cost is where the problem comes. Not only is there a ridiculous amount of different main stats, but they also only refresh once a day. And there's just inherently less 3 costs in the game than 1 cost, because 3 costs, they are elites. So not only do you have to get the exact right main stat, you also have to get them on the exact right set. So if you are a support, for example, every single support will only want energy regeneration, right? All these damage percentage, attack HP, they are useless. So you only want energy regeneration. We don't even know if there is a distribution statistics where it is harder to get for ER. For example, in Honkai Star, energy regeneration rope is the lowest statistics to drop. So if that is the case, you are just fighting an uphill battle where it is just very, very difficult to get the energy regeneration main stat. Right? And on top of this, it has to be on the right set as well. So you need this to be on the Moonlit set, the Cloud set, which has the energy regeneration 2-piece and the attack damage for the auto character for the 5-piece, right? So you can see that it is extremely, extremely difficult to get the right main stat for your 3 cost, and there's pretty much no way to alleviate this unless you just spam farm the overworld or go to your friend's world where you can farm together, right? There's no other way. You can't spam this like your 4 costs and it is not abundant like 1 cost, and the subset, the main stat distribution is just so many that you have to get the right main stat for it to be a usable piece. Now, this will bring us to the biggest problem in Wuthering Waves, which is there is a way to kind of limit this by farming tester fields. And that is the main problem of Wuthering Waves. Even if you were to get the right main stats, the right sets even, it is impossibly difficult to raise them up. You can have 200,000 different echoes and maybe like 10% of them are the right sets, right? To raise up an echo from +0 to +25, you need 143,000 experience, right? So if I can just bring your attention to over here, you need 143,000 experience to bring a unit, bring your echo to +25. And right now, there is no other way for you to get echo experience except in the tested fields. So how many Reddit experience or echo experience do you actually get from tested fields? It is going to be over here. Right now, in the current level I'm at, which is Union level 34 going to level 35, this is the drop I'm getting. You get 1 gold and 7 purples. Maybe you get a little bit more. Maybe there's like double gold, maybe, right? I don't know. And maybe in Union level 40, you get even more. But for now, 1 purple is 2,000, right? So a singular purple is 2,000 experience. And a singular gold is 5,000 experience. So combined, in order to max out an echo from level 0 to level 25, you will need 7.5 runs of tested fields, right? Because you get 19,000 from a single tested field run, and out of 143,000, you need 7.5 runs, which is 450 stamina worth, because a single round of tested field is 60 stamina. You literally need more than 48 hours to run and fully max out a single echo. A single echo takes 2 days worth of stamina to max to level 25. That's not even factoring the fact that we need 5 different echoes. We need 5 different echoes, and if you want to talk about subsets, for example, if you want to roam, for example, let's just take a look at the example, right? So if I'm under the rodents. Unfortunately, I got defense and attack. So this piece is pretty much dead to me, right? It's useless. So how much experience do you get back when you further an echo, right? So for example, if I were to, let's say I want to do this. If I were to feed this +15, you get to roughly 30,000 experience. And you get a little bit of a refund as well. But it is at a lower efficiency, and you already consumed your extremely limited echo experience. You cannot further echoes that have not been given enhancements. Meaning to say, this entire library of fodders that you found from the overworld, none of them can be used as fodder experience. So unlike Honkai Star Rail, where if you farm relics and you have like blue relics or purple relics you don't want, you can fodder them. You can use them as relic experience. In Wuthering Waves, this cannot be the case. And the only use for these fodder echoes right now, anyways, is through the data bank, data merge center, right? Where you can fodder all these common, blue, rare, whatever, you can use them, right? Boom, 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 right? You can select them, and you can get a possible chance of getting a elite class, which is a 3 cost, and a common class, which is 1 cost. But see, that doesn't fix the problem. It partially fixes the problem of not getting the right 3 costs, because 3 costs inherently in this game, they are very difficult to obtain. But the biggest problem in Wuthering Waves right now, it is not this. It is players will not have enough Echo experience to even raise them. You could have 10,000 3 costs, you could have 10,000 4 costs, you get 10,000 1 costs, and let's just say all of them have the right main stat. No one in this world, in this game, will have enough to even level them, because stamina experience, the only way you can get Echo experience in Wuthering Waves is through your tested fields. And as it stands right now, if you do not max refresh, and if you only rely on natural energy generation to farm your Echo experience, it's gonna take you 450 stamina to get a singular Echo from level 0 to level 25. Then what about your weapon upgrades? What about your unit level ups? What about your traces? You can see how this problem can very, very quickly snowball, because there's simply way too little returns when it comes to the amount of Echo experience they're getting. Now, I know this was a problem in CBT, right? The devs has already addressed that they are giving us more returns when it comes to the Echo experience we're getting. But at this point, it is still not enough. If you are taking more than 2 full days to level up a single Echo to plus 25, this is not inclusive of your subset RNG. This is not inclusive of the rest of the time that all these stamina could be used to level up your relics, your experience. And this is where we are only at Union level 30-ish. We haven't even unlocked the ascension for level 70, level 80, level 90. And I'm pretty damn sure if the math is the same for Honkai Star or Genshin Impact, the amount of materials you need to level them up is going to be exponential. You're going to use exponentially even more character experience, even more weapon experience, and even more trace materials to level them up. So how in the hell is a player gonna even find the experience or the stamina required to even raise their infinite bank of echoes? So this is where the problem will become very, very, very annoying. When you reach the stage where players are progressing, you're union level 40, 50, 60, you're still trying to raise your characters, but no one will have enough experience to raise up your echoes. The biggest bottleneck in Wuthering Waves, it is not your pools, it is not your islands, it is not your unit level, it is not your character, it's not even your traces, it's your echoes. Because specifically Echo experience. Because you could farm the entire overworld, right? If you are a hardcore player, you can farm the entire map. You clear every single mob in the entire map. And once you're done farming every single mob, you go to your friend's world and your friend's world and your friend. You can farm this 24/7. But the thing is, you just simply do not have any Echo experience. You can raise none of them. You could have the right main stat for every single cost. You can have the right main stat. You can have a crit main stat, elemental damage main stat for 3 costs, and attack main stat. But there's just simply not enough experience to even level them up. And I hope that there is some way that the devs can address this issue. I have already experienced this problem myself because I've basically power leveled all the way to, I believe I'm at level 34 going to level 35. I'm already raising up my team. My team is already pretty much fully developed, right? This is my team 1 as well as my team 2. All of them, they are already at level 60, or rather most of them, they are already at a considerable level 60, 58. I've already done their levels, I've done their weapons, I've done their tracers, but I do not have enough to do the echoes. And considering the fact that this game, you need to make different sets for different units. So for example, end game wise, Calchero, he would want a 5-piece Thunder, right? And for your Verena, you want a 5-piece healer set. And then for your sub DPS at Sanghua, you want a 5-piece Cloud set. And then for your Danjing/Havoc you want a 5-piece Havoc set. So you can very quickly see, because we want specific sets for each unit, if you want best slot, if you want to talk about the end game, you're gonna have to raise plus 25, plus 25, plus 25. So every single one of this is 2 full days. So you literally need almost 2 weeks to level up 1 full set for a single unit. You multiply this by all the different units, and we're not even considering the amount of experience we need, the amount of stamina we need to raise up our weapons and our units and our tracers in the future, right? And this problem can only get worse as we get into higher and higher soul phases. Because as we can unlock more and more units, we are level them to level 90. Level 90 unit, level 90 weapon, fully maxed out level 10 tracers. There is just simply not enough stamina to divest into echoes. So can you imagine, on top of all this, you raise your echoes to level plus 25. and you get goddamn HP main stat, HP substat, HP defense substat, attack flat stat, and you just don't even get crit, then all your efforts, maybe not all, you still get refunds, but these very, very, very precious Echo experiences, they just gone to dust, right? Because a singular run of a tested field it only gives you 19,000 experience and you need 143,000 to max them out. So even if you were to feed them and you get some back, it is just still not enough, right? So that is pretty much the biggest problem with Wuthering Waves right now. You guys, like I said at the start of the video, you will not feel it yet because nobody, or rather majority of the player base, you guys are not leveling Echoes, but you will definitely feel this when you want to level Echoes. You will notice that very, very quickly, very, very miraculously, you're just gonna be like, where did all my experience go? This thing, if I were to auto-select into this right now, I can't even max out a single Echo. And this is my entire stash. And I have been max refreshing for the past 3-4 days. I can't even level this up, and it has been like day 5. We're not even at the stage where we can raise units to level 90. We're not at the stage where we can raise traces to level 10 or the weapons to level 90. And I'm already facing this bottleneck issue less than 1 week into Wuthering Waves. So yeah, I am quite concerned. This is my biggest concern with Wuthering Waves. Other than this problem, I think Wuthering Waves is an excellent game. Combat is great, unit development is great, variety is great, devs give us a lot of pools, a lot of limited units, my 5-star selector, it is great. But this ecosystem needs to be fixed. Either by reducing the cost, reducing the stamina cost for tested fields, or giving us more tested field Echo experience, or just giving us more ways to get Echo experience. Because if this is not fixed, no one can develop a proper Echo team, like even 1 month in, you're probably still trying to max out a single relic. I'm not even talking about finding the right substats. I'm talking about finding a single max out 25 relic. It's probably not even there. Because you still need to juggle this with your weapons, your levels, and your traces. Although, you can swap out your Echoes, right? You can use the same Echoes for your team 1, for your team 2, between each, right? So for your endgame content in Tower Adversity, you can theoretically just strip this and give it to your second team. But that means you are pretty much never gonna farm a full 5-piece best in slot. The only way you do this is you are doing rainbow, right? You're just doing random rainbow sets, attack set, as well as the 2-piece energy regeneration. But that's not a thing by the end game, because I'm pretty sure you will wanna min-max this. It's kind of like if you're playing Honkai Star Rail, you're just running 2-piece Musketeer and 2-piece, or just running Rainbow for the rest of your life, or like for a very, very long time. Can you imagine maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 4 months in, you're still running this same Rainbow set for like all your units? Then like, what is the point of even coming up with these sets? Because it is just not worth the opportunity cost. There's literally no incentive to even go into farming for a full 5-piece if you're just gonna run Rainbow and just run our runs sub-optimally, because there's just not enough Echo experience to even raise a full 5-piece that is specific to one unit. At the end of the day, if you're playing a gacha game, you're probably playing it because you want to make your units to the best you can, right? You love these units, you want to make them up. For now, we use Rainbow, but in the future, if you want to lock in and do a specific 5-piece, then that is going to be a problem, because Havoc 5-piece is just completely useless on the culture, right? So that's also another issue. Also, another point, for now, we might only get 1 gold and 7 purple as of Soul Phase 3. I think Soul Phase 4, right? Maybe in the future, we get into rank 5, rank 6, maybe we get a little bit more. We'll see how that goes. Because I don't know what is the returns on your future ranks, but for now, it is 100% not enough. And there's no other places where people should farm right now, because you shouldn't be hoarding, you should be farming your traces or your levels at the next soul phase, right? So we'll see how much more. Maybe we get like double or triple in rank 5 or rank 6, but I highly doubt that's the case. But if we do, then maybe it's a lot better. But for now, this problem is just not it. One more point brought up by my chat, very good point. These purple tuners, as well as the blue tuners, they are completely useless, because no one in their right mind should be raising purple or blue echoes. They are just, it's like investing in purple or blue relics in Honkai Star Rail. You're just gonna dump them in the future when you get gold. So all these 900 tuners, the fact that we can't even convert them to gold is just there. It's just gonna be there in your inventory, just doing nothing, right? So yep, another small problem brought up in my chat, right? So yeah, I hope that this gets the point across. TLDR, way too little echo experience, way too expensive to get tested fields, and this problem is gonna be even worse when we get into more and more higher difficulty, higher levels for raising our units, right? So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you want to engage in further discussions, head on to Discord, Pokke's Village, where we're actively talking about on a daily basis. Check out my stream, the Twitter, I'll stream every day. And yeah, all the best for GM pools. Hopefully your echo experience is gonna be the same as us. Not the same as us, sorry, but it's gonna be the same, but yeah, I just really wish that there's some way to fix this, because at this point, this is just not it, right? So, all the best, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.